just missed my introduction. I was too busy back there talking shit. I did notice when Dahlia was asking why you all do those things as Portland drivers, that at some point one of you yelled out, because pedestrians! Did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? Yeah. And I want you to know, you said that with the same energy that my conservative grandpa says, because the liberal media! That's what you sound like when you yell that out. You need to know that. It's good to be here. This is a cool time of year for me. I just got 5 years clean and sober. Thank you! Thank you! I'm very brave! I am sober, which means two things. One, I am better than you. And two, I'm very bored right now, so nice to have something to do for 15 minutes, right? It's funny making new friends in the past 5 years who didn't know me when I was a drug addict. Like I can always tell who my new friends are just by little things they say. Like, for instance, I was having lunch with someone last week, and he was like, oh, Riley, you have to try the Cajun fries here. They're so good. They're like crack. It's like, oh, you should try crack. You would love it. It's like crack also. We got any crack smokers in the room tonight? Is it one person? I mean, it's the 4:30 p.m. crowd. I don't know who comes to these shows, because it's not my friend group. Okay, one proud crack smoker. How about cocaine users? Any cocaine users? Some people aren't sure. They're like, I think it was cocaine. I don't know. It was white and it burned. I don't know. It's okay. Honestly, I'm sorry to say to the 5 people over there, I do think if people who buy cocaine are kind of stupid. Sorry. I mean, in Portland, you know. Because, like, the thing about the cocaine in Portland is the cocaine here is so shitty and so expensive. And the meth here is so good and so cheap, you guys. So what are we doing? Let's be honest, you know, like Portland, we're not New York, we're not LA. Like Portland, we're not a cocaine city, right? Like Portland, we're a meth town or we're a heroin town, right? You know, like coming to Portland and buying cocaine, that's like going to a world famous seafood restaurant and then ordering the chicken. It's like, why did you even make a reservation at that point? And I know some of you are thinking like, oh, but Riley, meth is gross. Meth is dirty. Okay, Gordon Ramsay. Not everything needs to be fucking gourmet, all right? Some of us are trying to cut loose on a budget. Some of us have shit to do this weekend. And I know some of you are like, oh, but Riley, meth is for white trash. Meth is for rednecks. You know the type of people that do crystal meth? Factory workers. Farmers. Type of people that built this fucking country, okay? You know the type of people that do cocaine? Wannabe DJs. Investment bankers. Dahlia Bell. I mean, scum of the earth. Scum of the earth, these people. I think what bumps me too about the cokeheads I meet in this town is it's the personality that it attracts. It's a type of person, you know. Like, for instance, I've never met someone who buys cocaine who's also someone who can afford to buy cocaine, you know. Like, these are not like for every line done in this city, somewhere there's a child support check that's not making it to the mailbox. It's not a classy clientele. These people aren't doing lines off mirrors in the hot tub at the after party. They're doing key bumps in a Subaru out behind an open mic. That's the clientele. I do think crystal meth gets a bad rap. And I will move on, but first I'm gonna die on this hill. I do think crystal meth gets a bad rap. Because honestly, like I think alcohol is a way gnarlier drug. Like when I was drinking, I was blacking out, doing all types of self-destructive behavior. Do you wanna know the most self-destructive thing that I did on crystal meth was? So one time I called out sick from work and I read all 7 Dune books in one day. That's as bad as it got. I had some of the most productive months of my life on crystal meth. I was on time to shit. I fixed my credit score. I honestly kind of recommend it. I mean, don't, but I mean, you know. Maybe if you wooed for cocaine, I would recommend it too. Because I mean, what have you got to lose? But, you know, a couple teeth or whatever. I do think, what it is, crystal meth has a branding problem. That's what it is. Crystal meth has a branding problem. And listen, if I was, president of the marketing department for crystal meth, which, by the way, God willing, one day, right, guys? I mean, if this comedy shit doesn't work out, I think that's a corporate environment I'd really thrive in. Dress for the job or whatever. If I was president of marketing for crystal meth, I would focus on the things that crystal meth can provide as a product that cocaine cannot. And when you look at it under that lens, I think it comes down ultimately to a question of ethics. People love ethical branding right now, okay? We've all seen rainbow washing campaigns, green washing campaigns. People love to have their values reaffirmed by the products that they buy. Okay, applying that lens to crystal meth versus cocaine. Stay with me. So cocaine, it's imported using Central American cartels, the import of which involves massive amounts of violence and mayhem. Crystal meth, on the other hand, that's farm to table, baby. I'm talking about small batch, locally sourced, artisanal, handcrafted crystal methamphetamine. Let's be honest, nobody knows where their cocaine is coming from, but we all got a cousin Travis. And Travis is in the kitchenette of his trailer on some Anthony Bourdain shit. If you go to like a local farm-to-table winery, you'll see that they have pamphlets that are like, oh, these grapes were grown in a vineyard just on the other side of Mount Hood with glacier-fed streams. All I'm saying is we need to start putting the same respect on the craftsmanship coming out of our East Oregon trailer parks, okay? Because I've eaten at some of these crunchy farm-to-table restaurants. When a menu item says artisanal, all that means is the cook who made it for you didn't wash their hands. That's what you're paying for. It's been a cool year for me. I had kind of a big life event happen at the start of the year that's still sort of sinking in that it's real. Me and my partner went through the final stages of adoption this year. Thank you. For real, guys. Thanks. Yeah, we adopted 2 African tree frogs from PetSmart. It feels good to be a mother, and you got to adopt because there's so many stray frogs in this town. But yeah, me and my partner, we just got 2 pet frogs. We haven't named them yet. It's kind of a point of contention what to name these frogs in my household. My boyfriend wants to name them Lucky and Pete. Something fucking gay like that. But I think it'd be really cute since they're cute little tiny frogs to give them really butch names, like Duke and the Bastard, kind of the vibe I want my frogs to have. And I got these frogs because I wanted a low-stress, low-effort pet that I didn't really have to do anything for. But there's been kind of an unexpected stress that comes with frog ownership that I wasn't aware of. And that's that they won't stop fucking each other. It's like they're 2 Amish kids on Rumspringa. They just learned what sex is. That's all they want to do. And it's got me stressed out because, if these frogs are having sex, presumably that means they can procreate, right? And I looked it up. This species of frog, when they lay eggs, they lay an average of 320 eggs at a time. What was right? That's a lot of in-home frog abortions I'm about to have to do. It's about to be an extremely emotionally punishing task. Because, I was a sensitive little kid, I could never dissect the frogs in science class. I can't imagine it's going to be any easier flushing 320 of them down the toilet. And to make matters worse, my building is old, the plumbing is shitty, it backs up all the time, and the woman that lives below us is very elderly and very Catholic. If she starts to have frogs emerging from her toilet, gotta believe she'll think she was stricken by some sort of biblical plague. Probably think it was brought on by the gay couple living upstairs. Which in this case, okay, she would be right, but I don't think I want to encourage those delusions. Got me so stressed out thinking about these frogs having babies that I called the vet about it. I have a cat, and I see a vet for my cats. So I called her up, and I was like, would you be able to, neuter my frog? It feels silly saying it out loud to you now, but I figured I had to ask. She said maybe my favorite sentence anyone has ever said to me. She said, I can't neuter your frog. I don't know anyone in Portland who could neuter your frog. However, if you're willing to make the trip, probably find someone to take a crack at it in Idaho. Now, there's two things I love about that sentence. One, willing to take a crack at it? Not a phrase I'm used to hearing a doctor say. That's like what your stepdad says before he tries to fix the transmission on your Chevy. It's not medical mumbo jumbo. Secondly, she had Idaho locked and loaded. Didn't even have to think about it. Oh, you need someone to slice up a frog's pussy? Get to Idaho. Of course it's fucking Idaho. Of course the state you go to legally purchase a grenade launcher is the state you go to for an off-the-books frog vasectomy. It's one of the many states in our great nation with better reproductive health care for amphibians than humans with uteruses. You could probably find all the sketchy vet surgeons in Idaho. You could probably find a vet surgeon in Idaho that would give your frog fake tits if you looked long enough. All right, you guys have been fantastic. I'm Riley McCarthy. Have a good night.